Josh, show me your hands. You've got blood on them.
Just look at you. Eating your heart out to be back out there on your old beat again, aren't you?
Oh, don't go on about it.
It's better for me to say it than you, isn't it? I don't like a man to have self-pity, but it's not good to bottle things up.
You can read me like a book, can't you?
It's a good book.
Ah, well. Pity about that little tobacconist shop, isn't it? That chance of a loan now.
It's a good thing if you ask me. You'd only have smoked up all the profits.
Funny how things change, isn't it, when you come to think of it? 25 years I've been paddling up and down this valley, and everyone my friends. Josh, I'd say, you may not have it in you to be a sergeant, but you've got 1,000 friends. And there's many a sergeant and an inspector would be glad to be able to say that. Ah, look at it now. It's not only me that's suspended, it's my friends as well. Oh, I know they smile at me with their mouths when they see me, but then when I pass, they nod and murmur among themselves as if I was the murderer.
Don't you get so down in the mouth, man. Sooner or later, they're bound to find the man who did it.
It was Roberts. You believe me, don't you?
You've never told me a lie in 24 years, Josh. Why should you lie to anyone else?
Perhaps you never found me out.
Oh.
Ah, you know, it's a strange business. I don't know what to think. Gee, if you can't trust your senses, where are you? One thing is certain. Roberts never left the chapel.
Mrs. Evans, the greengrocer, was asking only yesterday if we got a lawyer yet. Emily and Rita Plandarcy are very good, she said.
Yes.
You know what I think? You were sorry for that P.C. Jones.
One has to learn forgiveness. One has to learn to be merciful.
No mercy he showed to you or to that girl. Everybody's saying it.
Say what?
Who was it found the body? There was blood on him. And Mrs. Evans, the washing woman, saw him talking to the girl only the day before.
Gossip it is, that's all. And I don't want to hear any of it.
But it's you he tried to blame, to take the suspicion from himself.
Be quiet, woman!
What is it, Wyndham? Oh, it's only a tiny cut. I'll get some sticking plaster. What is it? What is it? Why do you tremble so? Oh. That horrible Josh Jones has upset you like this.
A very good officer, Mr. Jones. Yes, sir, of the older type. Very conscientious, very popular. 2 years to go for his pension.
I wasn't sent all the way from Cardiff to hear how popular he is. Does he still stick to this ridiculous story of his?
He won't budge an inch, sir.
We could run into a case of false arrest.
Well, there have been rumors that Mr. Roberts was bringing a case, sir, but we haven't heard anything definite yet.
We have no other suspects?
No, sir. We checked everybody in the village. There's an alibi for everyone.
And the weapon was never found?
No, sir. We searched high and low.
I see. How about this bank manager?
Oh, above suspicion, sir.
No one is. You'll learn that one day, not even this constable of yours.
Oh, I'll vouch for him, sir. He could never have done a thing like that.
You'll vouch for the bank manager, too, I suppose.
Well, he was in chapel from 11 to 12, sir. Even the minister will vouch for that.
Then why does Jones insist on being so obstinate?
Josh, that's about the 12th time you've read that paper.
Well, you miss a lot in a paper when you read it through for the first time.
Now, look, you go on out and enjoy yourself. Why don't you go down to the Dinner's Arms and have a game of stickers? It's no use waiting around here all night. Come on.
Oh,
Well, all right.
You generally always are, anyway. Well, looks like the end of the waiting. Just a moment, Sergeant. I get my helmet.
Josh. Good luck, Josh. Don't you let them make you back down, Josh.
I won't. Right, Sergeant. Let's go.
And you still stick to your story that Mr. Roberts led you to the body, Constable?
Yes, sir.
And that he made a full confession to you?
Yes, sir.
And the subsequent evidence, or lack of it, hasn't shaken your view at all? Hasn't given you cause for any doubt?
None at all, sir.
You do know what you're saying, huh?
Yes, sir. I am saying that what I saw and heard is the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
And you won't admit the possibility of any error in your statement?
No, sir.
Even though there isn't a shred of evidence to connect Mr. Roberts with this crime?
What do you expect me to do, sir? Say that I was mistaken? Say that I didn't see Mr. Roberts standing there, or hear him speak to me as close as he was standing to me now? So that you can send him a letter of apology from the chief constable of the county and brush it all under the carpet like a bit of dirt? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I won't do it.
Then what do you suggest, Constable?
Well, perhaps it would be best if I resign. I'm only worried if I do that, people will think that I was admitting to a mistake.
Well, I don't like to force your hand.
But you're doing it all the same, is that it?
Well, since you've made the suggestion of resignation, there need be no mention of the circumstances. Your pension will be payable, subject to a pro rata reduction for the last 2 years.
I see. Resign with the pension or be kicked out with that one. Is that it?
I'm only trying to help you.
I don't need any help to tell the truth. All I want to know, sir, is do you believe I'm telling the truth?
I think you had an unfortunate hallucination.
Well, in that case, sir, I'm not resigning. And the devil can take my pension. Oh, Roberts.
Evening, Mr. Roberts. Can I help you?
I want you to come with me. That's the way you behaved before. Now am I to be believed?
Mr. Roberts, I must caution you that anything you may say...
Don't waken him.
How long has he been asleep?
Oh, for about an hour. He put on his coat and said he was going out. And then changed his mind and began walking up and down until he was exhausted. Then he sat in this chair and finally went to sleep.
Have you been with him the whole time?
Of course I have. Why do you ask?
Because I must, Mrs. Roberts.
Oh, please don't waken him. He's finally sleeping peacefully. Most of the time he tossed and turned and muttered and groaned as though he was having a most frightful dream. And then, 20 minutes ago, a complete change came over him. Suddenly his face relaxed and he became calm, like he is now, the darling. As though great weight had been lifted from his very soul.
As though a weight had been lifted from his very soul. How heavy does a man's conscience become before it becomes unbearable? Well, in this instance, apparently the weight of conscience was so great that it resulted in a psychic phenomenon called teleportation. Wyndham's need to confess his crime, something he could not bring himself to do on a conscious level, was apparently so great that it resulted in a manifestation in a corporeal form, so that he should not go unpunished. After a short trial, Wyndham Roberts was hanged in Cardiff jail for the murder of Rose Maddox. In the village of Llandefni, some of the people still recall the words of that itinerant preacher on that strange Sunday morning when Wyndham Roberts seemed to be sleeping. For God shall bring each work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.